All right. Hi, everyone. Welcome, welcome. We'll get started in just a few moments as folks start trickling in. Welcome. All righty. Seems as though everyone is here. Um, Good morning, everyone. Thank you for joining us. If you're on the East Coast at 8 a.m., I am Kenny Allard. I use he, him pronouns, and I am the Assistant Director for Orientation and Student Onboarding here at Bentley. And I am joined with two of my colleagues from the Center for International Students and Scholars. So I'll let them introduce themselves as well.
Hi, everybody. So excited to be here with you this morning. We've been thinking a lot about welcoming you in the fall semester. So this is great. I am Susanna Marcucci, she, her pronouns, and I am the director for the Center for International Students and Scholars. I'll hand it over
And
to.
yes, thank you. And good morning. My name is Nathan Cruz. I'm the Assistant Director for the Center for International Students and Scholars, he, him pronouns. Excited to talk to all of you today.
Awesome. All right. So we are just going to give a little brief overview of what to expect from today's live chat. So briefly, we're going to talk about what is the New Falcon experience. CIS is going to go into further details, just about what to expect from their office and what you all need to do, and then a Q&A and also updates. So what is the New Falcon experience? So the Bentley University New Falcon experience is more than an onboarding process. It's a holistic journey designed to empower students at every step by focusing on academic, social, and personal development. We ensure that each student is equipped to excel, engage, and make the most out of their university years. This program is built on three pillars, which you see on the screen: preparation, support, and connection. So, how can we prepare you for your life at Bentley, academic success, and course selection, and literally preparing essential tasks that all new students need to accomplish? Through support, we know that this process is new for everyone, so we are here to help you along the way. This includes a variety of resources, weekly communications, and a centralized way to ask questions via the New Falcon question form. And most importantly, we want to ensure that you have the opportunities for connection with your new community. We know that a connection leads to belonging, and when people feel a sense of belonging, they're more likely to succeed. You are all selected to join this community for a reason, and we want you to find your little piece of home here at Bentley. So we have some new Falcon experience important tasks. You will see the full checklist in the Bentley Connect in May, and you can see an outline in the new Falcon Quick Guide that we all have shared out with you. But we wanted to quickly discuss these important first steps because they will prepare you to maximize June and July, where the bulk of the deadlines for the new Falcon experience will occur. These tasks include you submitting your housing application and contract, submitting immunization and health records, and preparing for course registration. We have some orientation goals. So it's important to note that orientation looks different at every single institution. So you may hear your friends talk about a day-long program, just an online program. Some have a summer program, but here at Bentley, we have a tiered program where we have online orientation in June, self-guided content for prep for course registration in July, followed by some community-based modules in August. From there, we have a virtual meet and greet where you can meet your orientation leader, and then a big on-campus program. We have a welcome and orientation program for international students that begins on August 26th with a full university orientation beginning on August 28th. Our program is meant to prepare you for university life, your academic career, and understanding your rights and responsibilities as a Bentley Falcon. Opportunities for engagement, and of course, some fun in an introduction to our tradition. And then briefly, I just want to go over our Division of Student Affairs values, supporting your student beyond orientation student affairs focus areas. So we have a really big focus on student well-being, We really want to make an interconnected community for individuals, members to develop social, emotional, and physical and spiritual practices to promote growth and resilience. Equity and inclusion is very big on campus. We create opportunities for students to explore their identities, design equitable experiences, and commit to development process of gaining a deeper appreciation for one another. And lastly, social connection. We create a social belonging and community by providing opportunities for students to come together, engage in shared experiences, and build meaningful connections with students and staff. So that is all from my portion, and now I'm going to turn it over to my awesome colleagues.
Thanks so much, Kenny. Appreciate it. So if we can go to the CISS slides, great. So Nathan and I introduced ourselves already, but we're going to get into some details about our office and how the Center for International Students and Scholars can support you on your journey at Bentley. And before we start, I do want to acknowledge there has been a lot happening in the world of international students, visas, travel. We're going to give a basic overview of our office and our services, and then there will be plenty of time for questions and answers when we're finished with the short presentation. But you can start putting questions into the Q&A at any time, and then we'll make sure that we get to every one of your questions. You can go to the next slide, please. Great. So the mission for the Center for International Students and Scholars is to offer resources for international students, promote interaction and integration between domestic or U.S. citizen students and international students, and make it possible for all Bentley students and the whole Bentley community to broaden their global perspective and worldview. So we really, really value international students at Bentley. You bring so much to campus and add so much richness to the culture and the community here. And the services we offer in order to fulfill our mission include visa, immigration, and travel guidance. We work on helping international students understand how to get employment authorization and what that looks like in the United States. We provide cultural and social adjustment support and resource referral. So we really want to be your home away from home during your time at Bentley, which means that if you have any type of question, you are welcome to come and ask us. And if we don't have the answer, we will connect you to offices and colleagues around campus. I think I am fairly new to Bentley. I joined last fall, so I'll be going into my first full academic year this year. But what I have really noticed about Bentley and from speaking with international students is what a wonderful experience students have on campus, how supported you are going to feel by the campus staff and faculty. It really is a wonderful community, and I'm excited that you're going to be a part of it. Next slide, please. So just some information about international students on campus. We have 1,000 or so international students, which is a large part of our overall student population. And that includes international undergraduate students, international graduate students, and then international students who have finished their degree at Bentley, but are still working at an internship or their first job, and we are still sponsoring the student visa for those students and supporting students. So we support students in our office up to 3 years after graduation with immigration guidance and assistance. We have over 75 countries represented on campus. So you walk around, you hear different languages. It's a really exciting place to be. Our international students make up about 14% of our undergraduate population, and then much higher, the graduate population, 23% of our graduate students are international. So it's a really lively, exciting campus, a very global campus. For programming, we offer immigration workshops. So we offer these throughout the year so students can learn how to obtain work authorization. Sometimes we bring immigration attorneys to come to campus to talk about more complex issues. We offer Culture Fest every year, which is a week-long celebration of all different cultures with food, music, and presentations all around campus. And I want to pause a little bit on the Worldview program because I'm hoping some of you might want to become a Worldview ambassador when you get to campus. So our Worldview program involves international students who educate the campus about their home countries, cultures, and traditions through dialogues and classroom panels. So what that might look like is you as an international student may join a panel of students from other countries to talk about a specific topic in a classroom with a professor who has invited you as part of the Worldview program to class for the day. So one panel that I attended this past year was about social media and how social media is used in different countries and what the different perspectives on social media is. And so you would have the opportunity to really gain professional skills with public speaking and have a chance to really help share about your story with the Bentley community. So really consider becoming part of the Worldview program. You'll be getting more information about that when you arrive on campus. Next slide, please. All right, and handing it over to Nathan.
Thank you, Susanna. So I'm going to quickly go over some general rules that you'll have to follow as F1 students, just to make sure there are no surprises come day one when you're on campus. So to have the F1 visa, that means you'll have in-person study. You can't take online classes from California or something similar to that once you're here in the United States with your F1 visa for Bentley. You must be enrolled in a minimum of 12 credits, which is 4 classes per semester to maintain your full-time F1 status. So if something does happen, you get sick and can't do a full course load, or this first semester this fall is a little challenging, come talk to us to see if there are things we can do, but generally you're expected to be full-time both spring and fall semesters. No off-campus employment is allowed without prior authorization. Generally, students become eligible after 1 academic year. And you can read all about on our website information about the ways students become eligible for off-campus employment. I know some people are very eager to find that dream job as soon as they arrive, but we just have to say slow down a little. Wait till you're here. We'll talk all about it once you're here. But we get a lot of questions about that often at the start. The first thing you're going to do immigration-wise, after you've landed in the United States and you make it to campus, the US government requires we do what's called an immigration check-in to confirm that everybody made it here safe and sound. So you will do an immigration check-in where you just confirm to us your entry marker called an I-94 to show that the border saw your F1 visa, said, yep, you're an F1, and did that correctly. And if you live off campus, to have that information. And then the last thing, let us know if you ever do have any changes in your address or personal information, just so we can make sure. It's my job and Susanna's job that all of your records are up to date for immigration purposes. So help us help you by letting us know when changes come about. Next slide. So So I know for a fact many of you are at very different points within this process. Some of you already have your visa and what's left is booking your ticket, and some of you might still be at phase one. So I want to quickly go over, just so that everybody's on the same page, of what is required of you to get to campus. To get the F1 visa, of course, first submit your documents and financial information to admissions. Admissions is the office that creates your first I-20. You'll submit documents and financial information to them. These are all needed to create the I-20. Once admissions has made that for you, you can go ahead and submit the visa application. For the visa application, you're going to fill out what's called a Form DS-160 and pay a fee for that. You'll bring the receipt from your DS-160 to your visa appointment. You'll carry your I-20 that admissions made for you. Bring the same financial documents that you gave admissions, bring those to your visa interview as well. And then bring your SEVIS fee receipt. There's a separate, on top of the visa processing fee, there's also a SEVIS fee that you have to pay. And so you pay both of those, bring the receipts for both of those, and then hopefully your visa application is successful. You'll get the F1 visa and your passport. If something happens in your visa application, for example, sometimes there's this thing called administrative processing, which means they need more time to review your application or they need more information. Let us know if that happens to you. Let us know what is the current situation for booking appointments in your location. We understand that there's been a lot of different information going out there about our visa interviews on pause or are they still going? What we've been hearing is that it varies from location to location. So let us know the situation in your location about booking visa interviews. And if your visa interview is successful, we can actually see that on our side. But if your visa is denied, you can talk to us and we can go over what they told you or what you were any documents you were given in the visa interview to try see if there's another route if it's worth applying a second time, and this time adding extra things to your application to make it better. But once you do have that F1 visa, you can enter the country up to 30 days before your Form I-20 start date. So if you want to do a little vacation, travel a little through the US in advance, you have 30 days to do that before orientation. Or if you want just more time to see family, any of those things. Next slide. So the big thing that Susanna and I want to notify you about is the International Student Orientation. So you all will come to campus a couple days earlier than most other incoming Bentley Falcons. On Tuesday, the 26th, we'll have a move-in day and welcome reception, help you move into your dorms. And then Wednesday, August 27th, the big thing for us is our mandatory immigration session. We will go a lot more into detail of the rules that you have to follow while in F1 status. All of those matters. Getting set up, hopefully help you with basic things like we'll have SIM cards available if you need that for your phone. Answer questions about your health insurance cards, make sure you get those in time. And then we'll also have you meet up with your international peer mentors. These are current Bentley students who are international, who can tell you the lay of the land, tell you how they adjusted to both Bentley and Waltham in the United States, hopefully to be guides and help you adjust a little more smoothly. And then the last day, Thursday, August 28th, there's a vendor fair and an immunization clinic if there are any vaccines you have yet to receive. Next slide. And now that leaves us with just time for answering whatever questions you all have.
See, we have a couple questions already coming into the chat or into the Q&A button. So the first one is for SIM cards. Does the school have partners that provide a cheaper plan for students?
And the answer is yes. We work with Mint Mobile. They are a local US cell phone carrier that have special student SIM cards. So you can get that when you arrive on campus. And then they have a list of different plan options depending on how much data you want, how many texts you want. And then you choose the one that fits you best.
Yep. And if you want to check it out in advance, it's campussims.com, where you can go and take a look, even download. They have an app in advance, so start planning that all out. We'll also have a vendor fair with, I believe, some other cell phone carriers and banks. So there will be time during orientation week to get set up with all of those practical things. I'm seeing a couple of questions about arrival. So I understand that life happens and sometimes it's not possible to arrive on campus on August 26th. However, I will say it is highly recommended that you come for International Student Orientation. You won't miss classes, so classes do start the week after, but you will miss really, really important onboarding information, things that you need to know to be successful on campus. And you'll miss a time to get to know your peers and to get to know other international students during International Student Orientation, and then students from all around the United States during the regular orientation program. So we really, really do want you to be there if at all possible. But again, understanding that sometimes there are other obligations and it may be difficult for you to arrive. But we do hope that you can join us for orientation. Okay. What else? Okay, yep. So we've got a visa question. So we are not very clear on the visa situation right now because we are not getting a lot of information from the Department of State, which is the U.S. federal agency that oversees the visa process. So we do know there was a visa pause. The intention of that pause was to implement enhanced vetting of social media. And so we don't know if that policy has been rolled out or not. My recommendation is that you check every day on the portal where you created your DS-160 application and do your best to schedule an appointment. So look for an appointment every day. I've been hearing different things that some students have been able to get visas, others have not been able to get appointments yet. So it may be that slowly appointments are starting to open up. So we really need you to check every day and let us know because we're not the ones booking the visas, so we don't have the information. If we do get information, if there is an announcement from the Department of State about the visa situation, we will be getting that out to you as quickly as possible. Okay. Let's see here. So yeah, so what if visa appointments don't open until August? We need you just need to keep in communication with us with admissions, and we will do our best to, accommodate you and get you onto campus. There are deferral options as well if it really looks like you may not be getting your visa on time for the fall. You could defer to the spring semester, and admissions did send out a communication about that. So really, it's a little bit uncertain right now. We're doing everything we can from the advocacy perspective to try to get those appointments open, but there's not much we can do at this point other than say, please keep checking for appointments. Does Bentley provide health insurance for an international athlete? Bentley provides health insurance for all international students. In fact, you're automatically signed up for health insurance. It's a state law in Massachusetts that you have to be insured, and healthcare is very expensive in the United States, so you really do need your insurance plan. Bentley offers a really great student health insurance plan. And we have a health center on campus that is open Monday through Friday that can take care of really a lot of things. A common cold, they can prescribe certain medications. They really can do a lot at the on-campus health center, and that is free of charge. That's just included with your tuition and fees. And then if there's a healthcare issue that the health center is not able to address, they will refer to a local hospital or clinic for more advanced care. But again, every student at Bentley has to have health insurance and can purchase the Bentley plan.
Another question I see is, does Bentley offer one-on-one mock visa interview sessions? So I wouldn't say it's exactly that, but if you want to speak to us one-on-one, we have Zoom advising hours. Actually, if you could go to the next slide, Kenny, we have listed all of our advising hours. Mondays, Tuesdays, and Thursdays. So talk to us one-on-one. We can talk about your individual situation. What are you worried about when it comes to the interview? Just to try to make it a little easier for you. So we can never guarantee visa success. None of us have ever been consular officers, so we can't guarantee what questions they will ask you in a visa interview, but hopefully talking about your individual situation and going over the general ways of how a visa interview goes hopefully can make you feel a little more prepared.
Okay. We have a question about parent activities during orientation. So we are going to kick off on August 26th with a reception to welcome students. The president will be there, and that is open to parents. And then, Kenny, do you want to talk a little bit about the parent program?
Yeah, for sure. On move-in day, there will be some sessions for parents and families as well. We don't have those sessions laid out yet, but you can expect some more communication and some more information about what that'll look like this summer.
Great. So check your emails, stay connected with us as we're rolling out all of this info. Okay. Here's a great question. Will Bentley provide ongoing advice and guidance to students on what's going on with international students? Absolutely. So that is Nathan and I's full-time job. And we have a full staff as well. We have 2 international student advisors and a coordinator for our office. So we're a team of 5, and we work 9 to 5 on these issues, pushing out information to students as we get updates We're paying very close attention to everything that is happening. If you check out our website, you can see that we have advisories that we are keeping updated as things change. And as Nathan mentioned, we have our advising hours. Those are on Zoom over the summer because our students are all over the world during the summer. But during the year, we have in-person advising as well. And we will also offer sessions with immigration attorneys or special sessions as different events unfold. Okay, another question.
Yeah, I see two
Interviews
different ones about visas being unavailable. At the moment, it appears that this is a location by location phenomenon where it seems to be, and we don't have anything official. It's just based on what we've observed, that it appears each individual embassy or consular post is deciding when to resume interviews, and they're not really making large announcements for when they do changes. Just one day, students are checking the website, and all of a sudden they can book again. So it's very unfortunate. We're frustrated by it in our office because we wish we could say something clear to everybody, but the best we can do is, as Susanna said, check every day at the location where where you plan to apply. And one thing of note, you don't actually have to apply in the physically closest location to where you live. If you hear around that appointments have opened up at a different consular office a little further away, you are allowed to book there. So check around, keep checking daily for changes. It seems they don't really make a big announcement when they do resume in different locations, and it's not consistent across countries or regions where one embassy has reopened and the one in the country right next door has not. So we will, of course, share once we hear updates. If we do hear a blanket, everyone's back to normal, we would share that. But until then, just keep checking every day.
We share your frustration. We know there's a lot of uncertainty, and it is challenging to plan. So we just ask for your patience, and we're right here with you in this situation.
The next one
Okay.
for Canadian citizens
Yeah.
is a good point. You still plan to apply at the location. I think that's the best strategy. The one thing I've noticed for problems of a Canadian citizen was I had a student once where the officer seemed to just be rushing and just admitted the student as a tourist. And then the student had to say, "Don't you need to see my I-20?" And then they were like, "Oh, you're a student." And they had to bring them into secondary to fix their record. So just make sure you're very
Okay. Um, okay. So Mariana, we are working on the international student orientation. Parents are definitely going to be invited to the reception, and we're looking at what other programming we might be able to offer. I am going to pull up the slides. We're having a little bit of a technical issue with our slides, but we are pulling them up again.
for the question
Nathan, do you want to take the next question?
For the question on waiving health insurance, unfortunately, the specifications for which insurance to use is very specific. So for that reason, international students, even if their family had some sort of worldwide insurance coverage, we still require you to get the locally issued Bentley insurance. Often those worldwide insurances only cover emergencies. We need you to have full insurance for full medical range here in the US. So exceptions are rare to none.
Okay, is there a specific time for moving day or is it for the whole day? So we will announce the time period, but it essentially is most of the day to allow for flexibility for you to arrive. And then our welcome reception will kick off in the evening. Um, okay. So I think that's everything. Happy to take a few more questions. Um, and Kenny, did you want to go through these last
Yeah, sure.
parts?
Yes. For folks, we have a new Falcon question form, which I mentioned at the very beginning. If you have any questions at all regarding anything with moving in or just starting at Bentley, this new Falcon question form is really important where you can ask a specific office and an email will be sent to them and you get direct communication with that office. So totally use that. It's a great tool to use if you're stuck on anything, and everyone's pretty responsive. So totally use that. And I think that is it. I think that's the last slide.
Yeah.
Yeah, thank you all so much.
Thank you. And please reach out, contact us with any questions going forward. We'll be happy to assist you.
Awesome. Bye, everyone. Thank you.
Bye.